Valentine's Day is coming up, and we definitely want to make you aware of some of the things that you can look out for to protect yourself in this season of love. And so we have our very special sponsors who have come on board with us to educate us, and we'll be hearing more about them a little later on in the show. But of course, Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. They are Jamaica's partner in advancing progress and bringing peace. A word from them now.
Project Rock, we're rocking with that. Project Rebuild, overall and construct. The security force, yeah, we're looking at that. Better surroundings for a better state of mind. New vehicle mobilization, help secure our nation. Investing in facilities for modernization. It's rehabilitation, relieving frustration. Not just for the force, but for the citizens them same one. Project Rock.
Building today for a safer tomorrow. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
All right, you've just heard from our sponsors, and of course, I'm Nesta. I'm kind of riding solo today, sniff sniff. But we do miss our co-host Jonathan. He did a wonderful job last week, and I'm certainly hoping I can follow in his shoes, right? So today we're talking about cyber love gone bad. And of course, we have our education news and bulletin. And we also have our creative block segment. And for this particular week, we have Joel and Brittany Campbell. They are the owners of Duo Lens Productions. And they're just going to share their story with us about artistry, vision, and what that really looks like. We'll also have our I Chose Christ feature brought to us by Miss Brianna Edwards, a student at the University of the West Indies. And this is a show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a show that you don't sleep on Campus Connection, because I wasn't here last week, but the prizes that our listeners were able to get from answering questions, you definitely want to pay attention, because we'll be giving prizes all throughout the show. We have a brand new segment. It's a quick fire segment, so you have to answer quick, and we want to make sure you're paying attention to the very important information that's going out. And so you want to listen in, make sure you're paying attention so you can catch those prizes. And of course, those will be available throughout the show. So you can't turn us off and come back on. It's all throughout the show. All right. So now we're jumping into our education news and bulletin, which will be brought to us from Camille Lawrence, our campus consultant.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, February 3, 2026. NET Executive Director urges students to embrace critical thinking. Executive Director of the National Education Trust, NET, Latoya Harris-Garty, is urging students across Jamaica to move beyond rote learning and embrace the transformative power of critical thinking. Speaking during the STEAM in Action Expo, that is Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics in Action, held on Thursday, January 29 at the Chinese Benevolent Association in St. Andrew, Mrs. Harris-Garty described the students' exhibits as blueprints for the nation's development. The expo provided students with the opportunity to showcase projects across diverse categories, including robotics and animation, health innovation, renewable energy solutions, agriculture and food technology, environmental advocacy through the arts, and climate solutions. Mrs. Harris-Garty also underscored the personal benefits of participating in STEAM, noting that it fosters collaboration among teammates, schools, government, and the private sector, thereby creating an ecosystem of innovation. In addition to showcasing their projects, students had access to skills labs in areas such as artificial intelligence and coding, art and technology integration, engineering design bootcamp, renewable energy and solar innovation, as well as robotics and automation. New adoption framework designed to better safeguard vulnerable children. Strengthening adoption, foster care, and support for children with special needs has been identified as a national priority to ensure better outcomes for vulnerable children across Jamaica. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, emphasizes the need to modernize Jamaica's adoption framework in order to create more opportunities for children to transition into permanent and nurturing family environments. Senator Morris Dixon was speaking during the 14th Annual Educational Achievement Awards ceremony hosted by the Child Protection and Family Services Agency on Thursday, January 29 at the Terra Nova All Suite Hotel in Kingston. She highlighted the need to streamline the adoption process to ensure that children can more efficiently transition into stable and supportive family environments. She further highlighted gaps in support for children with special needs, particularly during their transition into adulthood. She noted that children with special needs can make meaningful contributions to national development, and therefore programs must be put in place to facilitate them. Minister Morris Dixon stressed the importance of developing national frameworks that ensure every child, regardless of circumstance or ability, feels valued, supported, and fully included in society. And now for the bulletins. 2 powerful nights of worship, prayer, and intimacy in God's presence. Hours of worship, the resubmission, February 6 and 7 at 6 p.m., featuring Ariana Lawrence, Chantal Smalling Stevenson, Gavin MacDonald, LaShawn Wilson, Pastor Dean Smith, Prophetess Sarah Smith, Keon Ledford, and many more. Join us at UTEC Students Activity Center, February 6 and 7 at 6 p.m. Admission is free. For more details, visit at hoursofworship.ja. That's the education news and bulletins for Campus Connection. I am Camille Lawrence.
All right, thank you so much, Camille, for education news and bulletin. I want to just invite everyone, if you're listening, if you're able to hop onto social media right now, we are live on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. I want to invite you to just hop into the comment section, say hello, say good evening. Tell me, how is the cold breeze treating you? How are you managing? Because I've been seeing mixed reviews of the weather and I just want to know everybody is staying warm and cozy and doing well. But we have for you guys today our Creative Block segment, as we mentioned earlier, Joel and Brittany Campbell. Now, they're the owners of Duo Lens Productions, and this is a photography and videography services company. They do weddings, funerals, corporate and social events, and they also do content creation for social media personalities and brands. I'm super excited to have them on the show with us today. Welcome, welcome, Joel. Welcome, Brittany. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, thank you so much for having us.
It's great to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So I see that you all you're very much into media, and help me to understand, what is your mission or what's really driving you in this particular industry?
Wow, it's great that you asked that. All right, so the mission is really to capture stories and create experiences and have impactful designs for our clients.
Mm-hmm.
We want to tell meaningful stories that preserve moments
Mm-hmm.
and elevate brands.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose, not just for the sake of posting, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Our journey has really been influenced by, God, of course,
Okay.
our community, the creatives that we have been around, our church and our
Mhm.
mentors. Oh, by the way,
Big up Jonathan,
big up Jonathan. Jonathan is our
one of our mentors.
yeah, he's one of
What? All right now.
our-
Anyway, you're there, co-host. Big up yourself.
Well, yeah, man.
But that's awesome though. How long have you guys been doing this?
We have been working together as creatives for a few years now, because I've done photography and Brittany has done videography, and we love what we did, we love what we do,
Mhm.
and out of it we say, hey, make we do something a little bigger than me just doing photography and you just being
Right.
video.
Right.
So yeah, you can call it that. That is also a part of our marriage as well. So yeah.
Wow. I love it when couples have this it makes you guys a force. Together you're doing such a beautiful thing and you're doing something that you're actually passionate about. It's not just, not just a job to go to work every day, but tell me a
Right.
little bit more about your creative, how do you get those creative juices flowing? Have you ever experienced a creative block? And even just how did you overcome it?
All right, for the creative juices, I know you wanted the juices and I'll take the block.
So how do I get the creative juices flowing? First of all, my specialty is in videography and video editing. His
Okay.
specialty, in addition to social media, his specialty is in photography. So for my creative juice in videography, it's so convenient. I can be editing anywhere I am. So as long as I am comfortable, it can be anytime at the day. So I don't always I am a structured person, but the structure don't always work out. So I could be here like just chilling and then I get this grand idea for a project that I'm working on. So in the moment I may be editing the content and I'm like, why am I not know what I'm doing? And then I just leave it. But then when I move on to something else, it's like the creative juices,
The inspiration comes and
the grand ideas, everything.
yeah.
And so I just get going. One of my major time for my creative juice to flow is in the late night. So when everyone is asleep and I'm there by myself, it's like all the inspiration just start coming.
Yeah.
Wow. So what about creative block? Is that something you guys have experienced where you just feel stuck? Have you ever experienced that? And how did you actually get past it?
Well, yes, I believe every creative has their moment in creative block. For me, whenever I experience creative block, what I do is immediately turn off what I'm doing.
Okay.
Turn it off. If I'm in the middle of a shoot, I'll probably take a minute outside or just step away for a second, get myself back in the game and get back. But like in an editing process, coming up with new ideas, if I'm feeling blocked, well, I step away from what I'm doing. To take a walk or, go eat some food or do some form of something recreational.
The
because
environment.
change the environment, because the aim of it is to be creative. If I'm not operating on all cylinders, it will affect how I want it to come out.
Right.
Yes.
It will, yeah.
Heal. So yeah, I take that step away and I'm right back to it.
For me, one of the things that as well for me in terms of the environment, but another thing is comparison. Sometimes on social media, you see some excellent contents and the quality just up. And then it's like, let's say you're working on a thing and you already have the problem with it, and then it's like going on social media because you want inspiration.
Right.
And like it just make it worse. Like you start to feel I'm not good enough or if I get that type of shot there or something like that. So what I try is just to, limit the social media, because while it's good, it also kind of make you feel away. Right?
Yeah. and as you're sharing that, because I feel like there is a place to even just stay true to the story that you are trying to tell.
Right.
Because there might be somebody out there on social media, they're not telling that story that you're telling. So while they're using their fancy this and that, but what you're doing is completely different. So I can totally see that. Guys, we're going to jump to a quick break. But when we return, I definitely want to hear more about you guys on just some of your experiences that has shaped you being in this industry. Guys, we're talking with Joel Campbell and Brittany Campbell from Dual Lens Productions. When we return, more Campus Connection. Please stay with us.
This is Love 101 FM, the family station. It's 5:45. I just never did I get through with no work, I did I get desperate. Till one day I see one ad, but them want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Worship and Faith International Fellowship WAFIF presents International Debt Burning and Financial Empowerment. Sunday, February 8. Join us at 6 p.m. at 55A Old Harbor Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Take along copies of your debts to be burned. Add 10 things you're believing God for. Those will be prayed over and lifted up before the Lord.
There's a fire blazing outside. Okay, where are the campus lights? Students are strapped up in a prize.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm Ernesto, and if you're just now joining us, we have some special guests with us, Joel and Brittany Campbell, the owners of Duo Lens Productions. Now, I'm told that they're being mentored by my co-host. I did not know my co-host was this large and in charge, so I definitely have to roast him next time he comes on the show. But I want to encourage you guys, hop onto our live stream. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can also jump onto our studio lines, 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. We also want to hear from you from WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. And as I said earlier, we have this new segment. It's called the Quickfire Engagement segment, right? And this is where we ask questions, and we want to make sure you're paying attention. That's the key. So if you're paying attention, you just answer some of these questions, and you definitely will receive a prize for doing so. I mean, that's an easy win right there. Who would want to be a part of that? So definitely pay attention, listen out, and make sure you're ready to answer when the question is asked. So Joel, Brittany, I want to help me to understand a little bit more of what it's like being in your career field. And I want you to tell me as though I am a young person considering going into that field. So prepare me mentally for what I'm about to experience.
All right. As a young person in this field, network. You need to network as much as you can, because if you're looking to be a creative, as a matter of fact, you're a creative at heart, but you're looking to do it professionally. Mm-hmm. You are going in a market that is saturated.
Yeah.
So a lot of what you bring to the table, others have been bringing it to the table a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So I personally what I did was do a lot of volunteerism. Capitalize on mentorship.
Yeah.
So the volunteerism, Brittany and I serve at Worship and Faith International Fellowship, WAFIF. He's the photographer there, and Brittany is one of the directors
and
videographer. So
okay.
You get your training in the volunteerism. Get yourself up to keen. Look for mentors. Mentor. I tell you, when I just started working with Jonathan taught me so much about the corporate feel, about what clients expect, how to deal with clients, how to perform even when your social battery is gone.
Facts.
What?
Yes, all of that. And those are things that you learn with experience. So with you taking the time to get that you don't need to take that much time to get experience when you have mentors sharing their experience.
Sure. I'd also have use what you have.
Yes.
So you make it and you will say, oh, I want to do videography, but I don't have the fancy camera that I would want to. Start with your phone. It's not the equipment that you have, but it's you use the equipment that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the media field, whichever field you are in. Start what you have, because someone can have the fanciest equipment or the fanciest tool, the resource that they need to get the task done, and
just
the creativity behind it is not
Yeah.
really selling what or giving what it's supposed to give.
Right.
Start with what you have, and you will advance over
Yeah.
time. Doing it, I mean, more money will keep coming, and one day you will get there.
Yeah, I love that. And I know you guys, you mentioned Jonathan, but is there anybody else that you would like to say thank you to or to credit for where you guys are now as a business?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Big up RT3.
Big up RT3, big up Films Media, big up WAFIF,
Yeah,
Worship
yeah,
and Faith
yeah.
International Fellowship, big up Beans
Beans.
Media, big up God, more greater than
Shamar.
everyone,
God.
Yeah.
SG Productions,
Our
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
our families, and also all the clients that we have that stuck by
Yeah.
us, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. You guys seem to be on a path to success, and I certainly wish you all the best. And I hope that as our young people are listening, they're really getting some of these gems that they can use to advance their own careers. So thank you, Joel. Thank you, Brittany, for certainly being a part of Campus Connection today. We wish you all the best. We're rooting for you, and we're going to be checking up on you. We're going to be asking Jonathan, how is that couple that came on the show? We're going to be checking on you guys. So make sure you keep in touch. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, you just heard from Joel and Brittany Campbell, power couple of Dual Lens Productions. We're going now to I Chose Christ, which will be brought to us by Miss Brianna Edwards. She's a student at the University of the West Indies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianna Edwards, a student at the University of the West Indies. And today I want to share my testimony of how I truly connected with Christ. The word of the Lord tells us in John 8 and verse 36, therefore, if the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed. And this is a verse I hold on to dearly because I believe in the liberating power of Jesus Christ. During high school, I was always a Christian, but I was lukewarm to an extent. But the good thing about it is that I was able to acknowledge that I was struggling and truly needed a connection with Jesus. I found myself hanging out with toxic friends and being involved in situationships that did not glorify God. It felt almost impossible to let go of the things I was used to, because even though I wanted to serve Jesus fully, the world also looked enticing, so I wanted to be in the middle. It felt as if I was in a spiritual pit. That's how I felt, really, burnout and empty. But in the midst of all this, I would pray and I was asking God, to deliver me and to set me free. Little did I know that God and the devil was in a tug of war over my life, and it was left up to me to now make that decision of choosing Christ. And so I remember one summer, I went to a teens camp, and I only had one motive: to be filled with the Spirit of God and to be delivered from every distraction. And so at the chapel service, I went to the altar on the second night, and I closed my eyes and just started to worship when I was brought into a vision. I saw myself in a physical pit, and there a hand reached down from the heavens to grab me. Without a second thought, I reached up for that hand and had a personal encounter with Jesus that night. And from that night of surrender, my life has never been the same. I was able to boldly cut off all the ungodly connections, walk in my true identity as a child of God, serve with power, serve God fervently, and now being a young Christian who is on fire for Jesus Christ. And it has been a truly transformative experience. And so because I choose Christ, you should too.
I want you to pay close attention to what Brianna just said. She said how God, in connecting with God, she started to just really experience a difference in her relationship with the Lord, and He rescued her. I mean, that's awesome for a student to recognize and to find your identity in Christ while you're there on campus. We definitely want to thank Brianna for that testimony. And we're going now to our main discussion segment, which will be brought to us we have some very
Let me clear my throat. Clear my throat. We have Mr. Andre Murray, the detective corporal and cyber forensic investigator. He's a communication forensic and cybercrime division. Lord, I'm messing this all up. I apologize, Mr. Murray. Okay, let me try it again. So, detective corporal and cyber forensic investigator of the communication forensics and cybercrime division in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Listen, this title can't hold on regular paper. You need you need the extra long. This is amazing, guys, because we're talking about cyber love gone bad. And so we have an expert here to give us some more insight on that. We also have some students with us. We have the UCCF student advisor and core team member for Hours of Worship, Miss Sherry-Ann Grant. And we also have the UCCF vice president, Kenneth Roy Clark. Now, guys, I'm going to say it again. I did say it before, but I'm going to say it again. The quickfire segment is coming up. And in order to win a prize on that segment, you're going to have to pay close attention to this part of the show, especially. Now, if you do end up winning, you must make sure that you're able to pick up your gift from our sponsor, the Ministry of National Security and Peace Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign. They're sponsoring these prizes, and you can pick your prizes up right here at 81 Hagley Park Road, starting on Friday, February 6th. So, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We certainly appreciate having you on. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Do a nice little mic check and say good evening, say hello, give out a nice little greeting. Let us know that you're on. All right. So, guys, welcome to the show. We're excited to talk about this topic because Valentine's Day is coming up. And even before Valentine's Day, cyber love it's something that is very popular now. Like somebody just send a message in your DM, and from that point on, you start talking and not even knowing this person. Sometimes it seems like you never really know what people are putting on the internet. And so this discussion really is about just making sure we're safe, making sure we're doing things responsibly. And I'm grateful that you guys are on to share with us. So, Mr. Murray, Detective Corporal, Cyber Forensic Investigator, welcome to the show, sir. It's so good to have you on. How are you doing? How is the weather treating you?
First and foremost, hi, understand. Thanks for having me on the show. I've been listening to Joel and Brittany before, and I'm gaining some insight into their passion, and it's very attractive to see young people, just expanding their horizons and trying new things.
Yeah.
So it was quite a bit to take in. I liked it.
I like how you said young people,
Young people.
Mr. Murray, we can't do ourselves, so we're not reached that age yet. We can't do ourselves like that.
I guess I'm a young man in an old mind.
I totally understand. Kenneth Roy, Sherry-Ann, how are you guys doing? How's the weather treating you? Just do a quick check-in here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not doing bad at all. I mean, that so far, I'm warm. I'm keeping warm.
That's right. How about you, Sherry-Ann?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing fine. The weather is okay and not really okay, but I'm managing.
Listen, just layer up, guys. Layer up, because I mean, some people love it, some people don't like it, but once you layer up, you'll be fine. So we're going to go to a quick break before we actually go into the discussion, guys, because we want to, just really get into it. We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we Return, more Campus Connection. Stay with us.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is 6 o'clock.
Project Rock, we're rocking with that. Project Rebuild, overall and construct. The security force, yeah, we're looking at that. Better surroundings for a better state of mind. New vehicle mobilization, help secure our nation. Investing in facilities for modernization. It's rehabilitation, relieving frustration. Not just for the force, but for the citizens, them same one. Project Rock.
Building today for a safer tomorrow. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection, which is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace, Jamaica's partner in advancing progress and building peace. Now we're talking about cyber love gone bad. And we have with us some guests, Mr. Andre Murray. He's a detective corporal and cyber forensic investigator at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We're also talking with Sherry Ann Grant, who is a UCCF student advisor. And we also have Kenneth Roy Clark from the University of the West Indies. He is the vice president of their UCCF. So guys, welcome again to the show. Thank you so much for being on. Let me start with our detective because I just need to understand more about the function of the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division within the JCF. Exactly what is the role and how do you go about doing what your role is?
All right, first, let me start. I just want to start with this particular opening remark. The fact that you're celebrating Cyber Love Gone Bad. I mean, love should never cost you, you or your safety, anything. And so if a relationship ends, your data still belongs to you. And so, you know, you're going to see that throughout this particular presentation and interview, that it's important to set boundaries and protect your privacy. Certainly, the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division is a specialized division within the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and by extension, the Forensic Services Branch. And so what we do at CFCD, which is the abbreviation for the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division, is that we investigate all matters in relation to digital evidence. And so this ranges for all types of crimes, because of course, you know, we're living in 2026, the 21st century. And so pretty much every crime now has a digital footprint or a digital component, right? And so based on that, the JCF saw it fit to incorporate the use of technology in solving crimes. Because you know, the informal quote unquote culture is not, it's very prevalent. And so persons still prevalent even to date. And so persons don't necessarily always come forward with information. And so we took a different approach, and that approach was to incorporate forensic science from a digital standpoint into our investigative efforts. So that's pretty much sums up what the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division is all about. Within that framework, we have some subunits, three of which includes the Computer Forensic Department, the Mobile Forensic Department, and of course, the Social Media Investigations Department. So we have quite a bit going on, quite a lot going on.
I see that. I see why your title is so long now. I see it. But tell me, because we're going into our first quick file segment, and we have Sherry on, we have Kenneth Roy on. And guys, if one of you can answer this question, the first person to answer this question, right, you'll be able to win our very first prize. Now, Mr. Murray, I'm counting on you to let us know who gets it right or what the right answer is. All right. So here goes the question. Cyber harassment is about, fill in the blank. Cyber harassment is about blank behavior, not a one-time message. Cyber harassment is about blank behavior, not a one-time message. Sherry Ann, Kenneth Roy, which one of you want?
I'm going to insert repeated into that blank space.
Repeated. So, Sir Murray, is he correct?
He's right on the ball. You get 10
Right
points.
on the ball. All right. Kenneth Roy, so you got the first one. You got the first one. I have one more. I have one more for you. So guys, here's the question. Let's see who can answer this one first. Blocking someone should come blank, saving the evidence. Blocking someone should come blank, saving the evidence. Who's gonna go? What's that missing word?
Well, I was yielding to Sherian. But in the meantime, I'm going to insert after.
After.
Wait.
Does he sound? Is that correct?
Could you kindly repeat the question?
Yes, it is correct. Blocking someone should come after saving the evidence. So wait, you didn't even hear the question properly and you answered it correctly?
For clarity, I heard, but I wanted to ensure that my response was correct.
I got you. Okay, you did a good job. So you have the first two, and we actually have one more. So let me see if Sherian wants the first. Sherian, you get first preference. Sherian, here's the question for you. Can you tell me what this blank, what fill in the blank right here? Posting private images without consent is not drama. It is a blank. Posting private images without consent is not drama. It is a blank. What's the answer there?
It is a crime.
It is a crime. That is correct. And of course, you get a prize. So Kenneth Roy, you're on 2 points and 2 prizes. Sherian, you have your first prize just now. That's good job, guys. Good job. So, Sir Murray, let me just find out a little bit more from you. Can you tell us a little bit about even the questions we just asked about cyber abuse, harassment, even? What exactly counts as cyber abuse and harassment?
All right, so cyber abuse and harassment, I would like to insert the word stalking too, because generally those three components work together based on what we're seeing and the data coming into our division. So cyber harassment, cyber stalking, and cyber abuse. All right, so the legislation and the acts as we speak don't necessarily or explicitly have those words inserted within the legislation, being harassment, abuse, and stalking. But certainly, the different acts, such as the Offense Against the Person Act, the Cybercrimes Act of 2015, and the Sexual Offense Act, make provisions for those types of cases. Particularly, it refers to 3 crucial areas. That for it to be harassment, abuse, or otherwise considered to be malicious, which is generally the overarching issue with those kinds of offenses. It has to be 1, menacing, 2, threatening, or obscene in nature. And it must be accompanied by an apprehension of fear to the victim or to the complainant that there may be harm meted out to them or property involved. So when you look at it, just think of it as has to be menacing, threatening, or an apprehension of harm must be present for it to be any of those. Because like I said, the words are not specifically inserted in the legislations.
Gotcha. So I based on what you just shared, I have some more questions for our students who are online with us. And I'm told that the prizes that we're giving out are strictly for our listeners. And so unfortunately, Kenneth Roy, Sherian, you won't be getting a physical prize, but you know what your prize is going to be? The reward of knowing you answered these questions correctly. So big up yourselves for doing that. We're going to jump now to our true or false section. And so far, Kenneth Roy, you're on 2, Sherian is on 1. So here we go. True or false? If it happens online, it's not a real crime. True or false? If it happens online, it's not a real
False.
crime. Oh, Sherry Ann. Yes, 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 that's correct. Tell us a little bit more about that, Mr. Murray. If it happens online, it can be a real crime.
All right, first and foremost, the crime perpetrated, whether it's online or in person, does not negate the fact that it is a crime nonetheless. And
Mm,
so once the points to prove that offense has occurred or is established by the police after making a report, then certainly it is treated no different from whether or not it was online. So let me give you an example.
mhm,
For example, malicious communication under Section 9 of the Cybercrimes Act of 2015. If you say something that is, like I said, considered menacing or threatening in nature, and I can give
mhm,
you a landmark case that I personally worked on, it
mhm,
involved malicious communication, information that was disseminated via TikTok by a
mm,
particular individual in the St. Catherine area. That Spanish Town would be quote unquote lockdown, if you remember it.
right.
And when I got a hold of the information, I was able to establish one, attributing the device and the content to the person who posted. And when it went to court, the person was actually prosecuted and fined $800,000. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
just like that, because you can't, cybercrime is not hiding behind a screen. There are ways and means to get that information and attribute it to the person. So that is just one example. I have so many more can tell you.
Wow. So we can't take for granted that these are real offenses, and that's why even earlier when you mentioned about saving the information before you block someone, that will be used as evidence. Wow. So Sherry and Kenneth Roy, here's my next question for you. True or false? Group chats can be used to harass or to shame someone.
True.
Oh, both of them answer same time. You see this now? Is this correct, Mr. Murray?
Yes, they're on fire.
Group chats can definitely be used to harass or shame someone. Question number 6. Cyber stalking usually stops on its own if ignored. Is that true or is it false?
False.
Oh, Sharian, no man, Sharian, you come out with a vengeance now. False is correct. Question number 7. Young people have the right to feel safe both online and offline. True or false?
True.
That is true. And we are responsible, and we also have the right to feel safe. Detective, can you tell us a little bit more about some of the early warning signs? Well, before we throw this to you, do any of you guys know anyone that has experienced cyber stalking? Sherry and Kenneth Roy, or maybe group harassment? Do you guys know of any cases like that?
Well, I'm sure I would have heard of a few experiences in the past of friends, or at least a friend's friend.
Yeah. Do you guys find this to be something that young people are really dealing with? Even just the stalking and someone cyberbullying and all of that. Is this something that young people are really facing from where you sit?
I definitely believe so. I definitely believe so.
Yes, I share the same sentiments because, especially as you mentioned, young people and everything nowadays is digital, it's
Yeah.
technology, it's social media. If you're not on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on any other platform. And, you may see a lot of this too, where cyberbullying is concerned within the context of high schools. You
Mhm.
have young persons, generally, you probably go through bullying during high school, but this thing has become cyber, where persons would harass you online, they have your information, they'll be sending around, images of you, maybe embarrassing images, spreading rumors about you. And there's something that I'm seeing very prevalent now on
Mhm.
Instagram, where say you have a high school, You know, you have XYZ High School, but then you have XYZ High School mix-up page. So you have quite a few of those on Instagram. And these pages are usually private because you're privately bullying people, their information, text messages, text chains. So, just basically have a whole social media run, just for cyberbullying. So, yeah.
Right. And as our detective said, these things it does leave a digital footprint and they can be considered crimes. So you certainly want to make sure that you're acting responsibly online. Guys, we're going to jump to a quick break, but when we return, we have our quick fire engagement segment coming up. Stay with us.
I'm not allowed to go anywhere by myself. They're afraid I will escape.
See all my other face bruise up? They beat me just because I said I'm tired.
I'm only 13, but they said if I work harder, they will make me go back home.
Forced labor is one of the many forms of human trafficking. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station, 119 or 888-PROTECT. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
You can see the face, but not the heart. Those who want to do you wrong. So many times.
Bless up. This is Christopher Martin. Human trafficking is a crime. Let's unite to end human trafficking. Be wise, open your eyes, spot them, stop them, and report them.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
No shadow at the dark. No shadow at the dark.
Okay, we are the campus heights. Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm Anesta and we're inside our final segment. This is our quick fire engagement segment. And I want to encourage you right now, hop on to this live chat because listen, we're going to be dishing out prizes. We're asking questions based on what we've been discussing so far. We're talking about cyber love gone bad. It's a reality. It's a sad reality. But you can win a prize if you hop onto our live stream. Answer first. We also have our studio lines open at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can reach out to us on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. And Campus Connection is, of course, brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. They are Jamaica's partner in advancing progress and building peace. So, guys, let me just lay down the ground rules for you real quick. If you win, if you answer these questions correctly, you must pick up your gift from our sponsor right here at 81 Hagley Park Road starting from Friday, February 6th. All prizes must be collected within 30 days of being contacted. So you don't want to win and then be slothful and you realize you miss out on your prize. Reach out to us on 876-997-3125. Here we go. And just a correction there, that you can only answer on WhatsApp. So not the live stream. Only answer on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125. Here's the first question. Who can help if cyber harassment continues? Who can help if cyber harassment continues? A, no one. It's online. B, only friends. C, trusted adults, schools, platforms, and police. D, just the social media app. So who can help if cyber harassment continues? Is it A, no one because it's online? Is it B, only friends? Is it C, trusted adults, schools, platforms, and police? Or is it D, just the social media app? We really want to give away these prizes, guys. So go ahead, text us on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125. The first answer wins the prize. Unfortunately, Kenneth Roy and Sherry-Ann, you cannot answer these questions. Next question. Cyber abuse affects which areas of a young person's life? Cyber abuse affects which areas of a young person's life? Is it A, mental health only? Is it B, reputation only? Is it C, safety, mental health, and well being? Or is it D, none, it's harmless, right? Cyber abuse affects which areas of a young person's life? Is it A, mental health only? Is it B, reputation only? C, safety, mental health, and well being? Or D, none, it's harmless? Again, the number to send your answers to is 876-997-3125. All right. So make sure you type in first answer wins. So tell me a little bit more, Detective. We have Detective Andrew Murray from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Tell me a little bit more about what should a young person do if they begin to experience some form of harassment online. What's the first thing they should do?
All right, so the first thing I would encourage, and this is based on my experience again, treating with cases that are sexual offense cases involving children and minor, do not engage or retaliate. We have seen many cases where issues concerning conflict that started online cascade into reality and cascade into the real world. And like you said earlier, many of these things happen in the schools. We have seen it on social media so many times. So do not engage or retaliate. Save the evidence immediately. And this can be digital evidence such as screenshots. It can be the transcripts of your WhatsApp conversations. It can be reels that are actually uploaded and do not terminate within until about 24 hours. It can be URL links. It can be messages that are sent, voice notes, etc., that are sent to you, the person who is in fear of the apprehension of being hurt or the byproduct of cyber stalking and so on and so forth. Another thing is most crucial, report it. I understand if you're a child, report it to an adult. You may have a guidance counselor. You may have your parents or a guardian or caregiver that you can report it to. Report it to someone that will cause it to be conveyed to the police for a formal report to be recorded and actioned. Another thing is once you would have established that the content is in violation of your privacy or in violation of you and your safety, block after saving the evidence. So that was one of the quick fire questions. So immediately block after saving the evidence. Another thing that you want to do is to adjust your private settings. So treat your private setting like a firewall. But the firewall, what you're trying to prevent intrusion of is your privacy and your well-being. Mental health also play an important part. So adjust your private settings to give you some buffer in between persons that you don't want contacting you and so on and so forth. Platforms are also important tools that can be used to report persons who contact you or cause you to feel uncomfortable with the content that you're pitching towards you. The platforms such as WhatsApp, they have their reporting mechanisms that you can use to have the content removed or taken down. So those can be utilized as well. So when you talk about first point of action, I think those are some very crucial points. Report it, save the evidence, block, change your privacy settings, and those oftentimes lead to some very good results.
Yeah, and Kenneth Roy, you're vice president of the university's UCCF. That's their Christian college campus. That's their Christian organization on campus. What would you say to someone who is feeling scared, maybe anxious about interacting in the online space because of the negative experiences they've had?
Well, I would say that just merely engaging in that space it's a bit risky. It does come with some risk, but as Detective Murray would have stated earlier, it should be done with extreme care and be as responsible as you can. Do your best to limit your engagement, particularly with persons you don't know, and know that the social media platforms do allow for exploration and meeting new persons. But especially if you are feeling that way, then do your best to ensure that you limit your circle to those people who you know. And the steps, the step verification, etc., the different mechanisms which Detective Murray would have just explained, I believe, those come in handy for sure.
Mhm. Yes. And I just want to remind our listeners of the questions that we want. We have these prizes, we want to give them to you. All you have to do is answer the question correctly. So the first question is, who can help if cyber harassment continues? Is it A, no one because it's online? Is it B, only friends? Is it C, trusted adults, schools, platforms, and police? Or is it D, just the social media app? And our next question would have been, cyber abuse affects which areas of a young person's life? Is it A, mental health only? Is it B, reputation only? Is it C, safety, mental health, and well being? Or is it D, none? It's harmless. You can WhatsApp us. The number is 876-997-3125. 876-997-3125 with your answer. And just like that, you win a prize. Detective Murray, what message would you give to someone who thinks online harassment is not that serious? What would you say to that person?
First thing I would say is that online actions have real world consequences, and that's the reality. Digital footprints are also permanent. When something is uploaded online, it's very difficult to have the internet scrubbed of that information. And just, when there's a case, especially involving non-consensual sharing of images and videos, or what we like to call revenge porn, a very sore point. And we're seeing a prevalence of that and a rapid expansion of that in our society today with the advent of smartphone and the ubiquity of technology as it is. But digital footprints are so permanent, unless, of course, you have the resources and means, like, some more affluent people in the world to have the internet rid of that. But accountability also applies online too. There is something in cybersecurity we call the reasonable expectation of privacy. And that is when you send information online or when you transmit information online, you're expecting that the custodians of this data or these data information, they keep them private and that they don't sell them to third-party merchants. And the same exists for persons. So when information is shared with you, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy to that individual as a custodian to ensure that your data is private, right? And that is reflected by the Data Protection Act and so on and so forth. But another thing is, and I want to reiterate, is where online harassment, has real life consequences. That cannot be overemphasized, right? And so because there's real world consequences that result in mental health and depression, and they have permanent, they tend to be very permanent because they act like an echo chamber for persons who suffer these kinds of infractions. They have to walk around every day like normal people, knowing that they were hurt, and persons can always go back online and find that information. So it's a real life challenge. And I believe that, anybody who thinks that it's not serious, they may be still living in the Stone Age.
Love it, love it. And thank you so much for that insight, Detective. I feel like persons, just from listening to what was being shared, persons know how to act responsibly online, and they know some of those signs, so those warning signs to look out for. We definitely will have to have a part 2 to this discussion because there's so much more that we need to understand about it. And our young people, we're big on social media, but we're not always acting responsibly. And so this is a much needed discussion. We're going to have a part 2 at some point, and I'm sure you'll hear more about that. But thank you guys for being a part of the discussion today. We certainly enjoyed you. Thank you so much to Detective Murray, to our UCCF Vice President, Kenneth Roy, and to our UCCF Student Advisor, Sherry Ann, for being a part of this discussion on Cyber Love Gone Bad. Thank you guys so much for making it Campus Connection, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Anesta.
Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have come to the end of our show. Want to say thanks to our producer, Jermaine Johnson. Thank you to Niku Angus, Shania Smith, Daniel Cox, David Sutton, to our campus consultants and all of the hardworking team. Thank you so much to our wonderful guests who were on with us today. That's it for Campus Connection, which is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. They are Jamaica's partner in advancing progress and building peace. We'll see you next week as we explore more things while going on campus. I'm Nesta. Have a good evening.
You're tuned to Family Radio broadcasting from Kingston, Jamaica. We're Love 101 FM, and the time is now 6